Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm Tanner's father. We're going to be working on a C6 Corvette today, installing sound deadening material in the trunk area to reduce exhaust drone and also improve the sound of the bass from the modified upgraded stereo system with 1500 watt amp and subs to reduce the amount of vibration in there. Alright, so I'm going to remove the sub enclosures. I have red and black. Keep track of the wires, because if one of them is done in the opposite, the volume speakers will be a quarter of what it normally would be. So you're going to mark the black one. So here, I'm going to tie this in a knot, knowing that it's my left side. Now we're going to remove the rear cover here. So we have lower clips here, and then the upper clips. You just simply unscrew. Pull this back, the carpet sheet to go around the target mount. To disconnect the trunk light. Okay, and we still have two clips here. You can get trim and clip removing tools, but in all my years, I found screwdrivers or pliers are certainly effective. Everybody has some type of needle nose pliers. Okay, sorry, stop. Stop it. Yeah, I want you to stop. So we're going to start removing the trunk interior. It just pops off. I'm going to pull the fuel lever door through. Feed the door release. I am watching eBay eventually for another one of these brackets here for the tire top. Still haven't come across one. As you see, everything is fiberglass, which
terrible for sound, road sound, exhaust sound, and also base of the stereo. Okay, so we are using Hush Mat. This is a trunk kit covered with 19 square feet of material. And most of my other race cars and cars I built for people actually used a very different material than this. This is a lot more pliable and flexible, so it's the first time for me using this product. Let's see how it goes compared to what I'm used to. Alright, I'm going to remove the target top mounts, in which case I have modified these so that I could raise them higher up in order to clear the subwoofer enclosures that would sit back here. Otherwise it was resting on top of the speakers. Okay, we're going to remove some of these wires, the clips, and how they're fastened. Okay, we've got some fasteners here that we're going to have to put some openings for. So I'm going to go ahead and start to peel back paper, the adhesive. What I want to do is install this at a height that it curves over the top. I'm used to products that have a very heavy metal foil surface to them. This is quite a bit different. So you can see it gets pretty wrinkly, so you smooth it out. Another bolt here. Through now. What we're going to do is we're going to just work this along. They do make a special roller for doing it. Because essentially the more pressure that you put and evenly that you install it with the least amount of creases, the more effective that the mat's going to be. But overall, it's still going to dull out the sound. A few of these corners we have to cut, fold it around here. Some slits in for these fasteners. So pull this tight. Cut off excessive material. Okay, then we're going to get out for sprockets here, because we don't want it sitting forward. You know this material is pretty thin. I'm still going to cut out what I need here. stuff down the doors. One side. Sometimes you might want to just save a few little scraps like that. Shorter than that. Flipping it through, it's a good idea to have the paper backing on first. And then peel it off. The reason we save small little scraps is like this is down here, for example. It's a really good idea to overlap instead of leaving gaps. So we're just going to continue to work our way on the back here. The fiberglass trunk floors of these Corvettes have a lot of deep structural ridges in order to eliminate vibration. So one of the benefits of how flexible this product is compared to what I'm used to using is that we're going to work it in. And I just have a little piece of decking material here with a sharper end down here, and then the radius edges that the decking material comes at. And you're going to start working it into grooves, and then using the sharper edge to actually stretch it and trying not to tear it. Which we had one tear there, here, which is the small little scraps that we have on any tears. This end up, try not to conform down. Have to cut the corner. And we're going to first try to some of these here, I'm just gonna have to cut it and fold it over, fill it in. One of the things that I want to do is when the subs are in place, the light from the trunk is completely blocked. So I'm going to experiment with one as an LED light strip around here, or I'll get 2 more of the factory trunk lights, cut them into the trunk interior panels to mount them further up here somewhere so that I get better light. So in the meantime, I'll write everything apart. Now's a good time to splice in the wire for that. So we're going to do that right now. And then it will all be in place for later. Now what we're going to do is we're going to route the wiring. In the event to run the LED light strip, it's going to start from the trim up over here. It never hurts to have a little extra wire. So we'll cut about this much. And we'll take them like that. Not that they could really short out on anything, as everything's fiberglass. Put that back here, through, and we'll have it hidden back here for later. Instead of spending the money on the expensive LED light strip from a Corvette website, I ordered one from eBay that's more than long enough for $1.50 for 5 meters, and we'll cut it to length. In the event that I decide to put a factory style trunk light in and I'm not happy with the LED strip, of course I'm going to want to put one on this side, so we'll splice into the trunk light over here. Cut it. Split the wires. Fold them at different points. And tape them. And we'll leave that back here for now. We've installed one of the trunk kits of hush matting, and as you can see on a Corvette, it only does half a trunk. We did do the tail panel, trying to do the wheel wells and the back of the quarter panel area, but 19 square feet of the trunk kit does half the job. It's my first time using hush mat, and I have to say I'm very disappointed with it compared to other products where I've done sound deadening materials in it. It's extremely pliable, which I guess is a good thing for how deep the ridges are on the trunk of a Corvette. However, the foil surface of it is just, it's like paper. It's there's nothing to it, and even just the thickness of the material overall, the rubber part, is very thin compared to my favorite product, which costs about 30% less money, which is Supersonic Acoustic Mat by Cool It Thermotech. Instead of squares, it comes in rolls, and in areas where you need to, you're going to cut it to length, and I recommend generally using a 1 by 2 foot areas for large spots, because if you're trying to cover some things, even a 3 foot width all at once, it can create a lot of problems. Difficulties as far as getting it straight, getting it into all the grooves, things like that. But what we're going to do here today, I'm going to have it come up slightly up the back and have all of these ridges in here. It's going to take extra material. So I know for a fact I'm going to have to cut it at about here. To finish the trunk, we used my preferred product by Coolant Thermotech. Just when you go to cut it, you will notice it takes a lot sharper knife and more pressure to cut through. The foil is thicker, the material itself is a lot thicker, it's a lot stiffer and more rigid, and it's just vastly superior to the Hushmat. We're not going to fill the storage compartments because we have sub-enclosures that fit in there already as a very tight fit. So this deadens the sound a lot more than this here, which has the Hushmat. And this is a pretty big area. It doesn't have structural support other than these deep ridges. I have extra mat now because we had to buy more to finish the trunk. So I'm going to cover this section in a second layer. But use the coolant matting. But I'm going to fill these structural ridges with spray foam, cut it flush, and that foam will also help absorb the vibration sound. Should improve sound from the stereo system, make the bass even more clear, as well as hopefully reduce the exhaust noise of the exhaust drum. So let's go through and how to do that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is spray some expanding foam insulation I just got at the local hardware store into the ridges to help fill them up, and then once it cures I'll cut them smooth. And what I did is I just took a piece of cardboard and just got a feel for how it sprays and how much it expands so that I don't make too big of a mess. It will hopefully reduce the amount of work I have to do. The biggest crevice to fill is right back here. Okay, so we've let the foam has set overnight, and then today I'm trimming it down. I'm using basically a knife blade from a utility knife, and simply it cuts pretty easy. And if you have high spots, you can just shave it down a bit where you need to. Alright, so we've cut the foam, leveled it out with a knife, vacuumed, cleaned everything up here, And I'm very pleased that I decided to put the spray foam in the structural ridges here, because I can feel and hear the difference of it absorbing the sound, making it stiffer. So the next thing we're going to do is, as I said, we had extra mat because the Hush kit did not do a full trunk, and very displeased with that product compared to what I'm used to using, which is the Sonic matting. So pull this over. Here's all we need. One of the ways to reduce vibrations from heavy bass of a big stereo system is to better secure the wiring. Especially we have the amplifier, power, negative cables, signal wires, things like that, the RCAs. So zip tying them together along with the factory harness helps. Use a lot of zip ties. The other thing we can do is we can take, after we installed all of the sound deadening material, you know, whether you use Dyno mat, Hush mat, anything, little extra strips of this to help secure the wires. The adhesives on there are very good, so that it's a great way to secure the wires. They'll be able to come in at a later time, and if you need to access the wires, you will be able to pull it away and remove it. The interior plastic here. We also have back here extra wires that we spliced in with the trunk light wires. Because I'm going to either put an LED light strip around here, or I'm going to get another set of the trunk lights and install them in the trim maybe here, so that we can get better light in the trunk, because the subs completely block off the light that we have. Do not forget to put your emergency door release and fuel door release. Feed them back through. Alright. And go over here. Just all these covers just snap in place. Side here, right in. Again, I have a second wire on this side tied into the trunk lights in the event that I decide to put another factory trunk light on each side. And you just gotta patiently work the carpet around back in place here. And I'm watching eBay. This is the previous owner, one of the previous owners at some point broke the Targa mount. There we go. Okay. Pull stereo wiring. Here, and I'm going to find the screw holes where it was installed before. Alright, so we're doing the stop timing. Okay. So as we install the tail panel, need to once again connect the lights. The plastic nuts here. Top one is for the cargo net. Bottom one. Let's just push this off. We cleared the speaker wire. Don't forget to install these retaining tabs. Two spots here. Interiors back together. I'll hook up the subs. I put black tape on the negative. And as I mentioned before, the best thing I did for the sound of the stereo system was to get rid of the crappy JBLs that come with these enclosures and install these punch speakers by Rockford.